Welcome everybody.
Hello,
Hello,
Prof.
Prof.
In the first part, which I recommend you watch if didn't yet, we talked about the history of the shape of the Earth. Is it round or flat? We reviewed the evolution of knowledge from geocentrism to heliocentrism up to the 18th century. And we cited 5 phenomena, among others, that everyone can observe, that cannot be explained by a flat Earth. In this second part we will see the continuation of the history of the evolution of scientific knowledge on universal gravitation, going from Newton's theory to Einstein's, and the extraordinary progress of science and its technology, which have definitively settled the question on the shape of the Earth.
In the 18th century, Newton took over. He was an English mathematician, physicist, and astronomer, who was considered the most influential scientist in world history. His discoveries continue to have a major impact on modern science. He worked in different fields: astronomy, light and colors, infinitesimal calculus, etc. His major work was published in Latin in 1687, which is translated as Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy. Physics was still called natural philosophy, in which he sets out the laws of motion in general, and the law of universal gravitation in particular. These law shows that the fall of bodies and the movements of the planets are two manifestations of the same physical force, the force of gravitation. It describes how objects attract each other based on their mass and distance.
Newton's laws of physics explain well the 5 phenomena mentioned in the first part. The apple falls is explained by the force of attraction between the mass of the Earth and the other bodies. The moon does not fall because there is a force called centrifugal, due to the speed of rotation, which opposes it. Water does not flow from a bucket rotated vertically, and a motorcyclist rotating in a spherical cage does not fall for the same reason. A ball thrown vertically in a vehicle at high speed falls back into your hands, or at your feet, is explained by the relative movement in reference axes depending on the observer. And finally, the movement in space of a round Earth rotating around its axis and around the Sun explains the opposite variations in the lengths of days and nights in the northern and southern hemispheres of a round Earth, creating seasons during an annual cycle, with 24-hour days at the North Pole in summer and 24-hour nights in winter, and vice versa for the South Pole.
At the beginning of the 20th century, there were still some observations not explained by Newton's laws: the nature of the force of attraction, small variations in the orbit of the planet Mercury, compared to calculations, the equivalence of gravity and acceleration, and the constant speed of light. So Einstein proposed in 1915 his general relativity, which says that gravity is rather due to a curvature of spacetime caused by the presence of masses and energy. Massive objects curve spacetime around them, and other objects like planets and stars follow this curvature as if they were attracted by a force. General relativity explained the precessions of the planet Mercury, and it was validated, among other things, by the curvature of a ray of light passing next to a massive body like the Sun.
The simple experiment of observing the disappearance of boats on the sear horizon starting from the bottom was reproduced in front of National Geographic journalists by a group of independent people, which we summarize here. They used a small boat with a sail divided into 6 bands of different colors. We can clearly see with binoculars from the shore that the bottom bands disappear below the horizon first. Then the middle bands disappear below the horizon in turn. And finally the top bands disappear below the horizon last. This order of successive passage from bottom to top below the horizon is due to the curvature of a round Earth. If the Earth were flat, the 6 bands would disappear at the same time and not successively.
When you look at the Earth from an airplane you can clearly see that it is curved at the horizon. The higher you go the more obvious the curvature becomes. In addition, live video communications between 2 people located at opposite locations on the globe allow one at noon to see and hear the other at midnight in real time. This is further convincing proof that the Earth is round and that the Sun never sets. Satellites take pictures of the Earth from space, and these images clearly show that it is round. All this has made it possible to verify beyond any doubt that the Earth is indeed round, and that it rotates around itself and around the sun.
Despite this, religious preachers such as American flat earthers and Saudi ulama and others, who follow in their footsteps, make no effort to understand Newton's laws, capable of calculating with exactitude the next eclipse of the sun long in advance, and continue 3 centuries after him to ask themselves why a passenger plane should not remain motionless above a city and wait for the Earth to rotate to land in an airport of another city on the same circle if the Earth rotates. Yet they only have to do the simple experiment of throwing a ball vertically in a plane, in flight, or in a moving train, and look at the result.
Indeed, if their idea of a hovering plane was correct, 950 kilometers per hour corresponds to 263 meters per second, 83 meters per second in the case of the train at 300 kilometers per hour. If we count only 1 second for a ball launched vertically to go up and down, the floor of the plane will have traveled 263 meters, and 83 meters for that of the train at 300 kilometers per hour. If the ball in the air did not have the same lateral speed as the plane or the train, it would hit the rear of the vehicle before reaching the floor. Which is not the case, it goes up and down as if the moving vehicle is not moving.
To end this video, we will talk about doubt. Doubt, far from being a hindrance, is in reality a powerful driving force for the progress of knowledge. It is the basis of any scientific approach and has allowed humanity to make considerable progress in all fields. But we must differentiate between methodical doubt and dogmatic doubt. Methodical doubt, on the other hand, plays a crucial role in the scientific approach. This scientific doubt is always based on observations, data, or rational arguments. It is not a simple intuition or a personal opinion. This scientific doubt is not an end in itself. It is constructive and not a systematic obstruction to the progress of knowledge, motivated as with flat earthers by dogmatic or religious beliefs or prejudices instilled by clever influencers. Methodical doubt allows us to question existing knowledge, identify errors, and advance our understanding of the world. Unscientific dogmatic doubt, on the other hand, can be an obstacle to knowledge if it is not based on evidence and subjected to critical analysis. Thank you for watching this part of the video, and see you soon in another video on scientific knowledge and others.